The content of this podcast does not represent the views of Missouri Southern State University. Hey guys, I'm Megan, and I'm here with
Allie
and Chloe.
And today
we are here to interview Chloe and her dad, Scott, about paranormal investigation. He has a... Yeah.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
He has a company, right?
Oh yeah, a company.
Yeah.
Okay, he has his own paranormal...
What's the name of that?
American Ghost Project.
American Ghost Project.
Ooh. Perfect.
We're in the spooky vibe after Halloween. Every day's Halloween in my eyes.
Yeah, especially after this weekend.
Yeah. Okay, can I call him? 'Cause he's ready.
Yes. Okay, wait, he's ready. You gotta do all the talking.
Okay.
Hello? I need... Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Hello, I'm Megan.
I'm Allie.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Same.
So our first question is, how did you get into paranormal investigation and when did you start?
How did I get into paranormal investigating and when did I start?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that goes back to a story that I started in 2020, but we have to rewind back to 2014 when my father, Chloe's grandfather, passed away from cancer. When he died on Christmas morning, about an hour and a half after he passed, he died in the house, and there were things that happened in and around the house that we couldn't explain. And one of those was my mom. We knew he was dying, so for at least 4 days he laid on a deathbed in what we call hospice care or palliative care. Since he was a doctor, he had about a $500,000 401k policy, and it was enacted before everything went digital. So the hospital wasn't going to honor it unless we found the actual paperwork. We couldn't find the paperwork, so obviously we were going to go through all of that after everything was said and done, after the funeral and all that. But there was a loud bang in the house. Mom comes in. This is back when she smoked. She came in off the front porch and was like, "What was that?" And we all look at her and go, "Well, we thought that was you." And so we walked around the corner into what was the study, and the door had flung open so hard that it went into the drywall. The fan was on full blast and had thrown papers everywhere. And by the way, we never turned the fan on full blast in that room because the fan was like off balance, so it was just rocking. And when we turned the fan off, the only piece of paper that was sitting face up was his 401k paperwork.
Oh my gosh.
I got goosebumps.
That is crazy.
Yeah, pretty awesome stuff. And it's one of those things where, if you watch the Paranormal Investigative or those ghost hunting shows, you'll see him go, "Oh, I got goosebumps." I mean, Chloe's been with me whenever, we'll get goosebumps or chills or whatever, and you can't really document that. But Mom walked in. I was in the room with my sister, and the energy was palpable in the room. Mm-hmm. And Mom walks in and she goes, "What's going on?" And I go, "It's Dad." And she goes, "Where is he?" And she goes, "Dad's in here." And then Mom goes, "Where?" And we both said at the exact same time, "Everywhere." Like the entire room was energy. And you could smell his cologne. I mean, he proved to us that your energy goes somewhere, and apparently he needed to go into the study. But that wasn't the only thing that he did. He moved, apparently he wasn't done working on the house because he moved ceiling tiles down in the basement in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he moved ceiling tiles down in the basement. I remember sleeping on the couch for the next couple of nights because my sister was upstairs and we had company over. I was sleeping on the couch and I woke up to somebody getting up out of their bedroom, which was right behind me, walking into the kitchen. I could kind of, it was kind of awake, but not really, knowing that there was somebody in there getting a glass of milk, because I could kind of see them, and then sit in the recliner right next to me. And I woke up at around 4 or 5 in the morning to go to the bathroom and noticed that there was a half drank glass of milk where my dad would normally sit. And then I thought, oh, it's just mom. She just got up, and then I noticed the milk container was still out and the refrigerator door was open.
Oh.
I'm like, well, that's odd. So I shut that, put the refrigerator out, put the milk away, and then shut the door. And then I just poured the half empty glass of milk in the sink. And then I asked mom about it the next morning. She's like, I never got up. I don't know what you're talking about. That's dad. Dad would have done that. And he always left his half drink glasses of milk on the they had this end table in between their two recliners in their living room, and he would always set it right there. I'm like, grief. He did all that. So that got me interested. Yeah, for milk. And just going through his like regular routine, right?
Yeah.
So I thought we got to a point where we were watching all the other ghost investigative shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to a point where I just told myself that we could do that. And I was just telling somebody this the other day. We started out with an equipment bag, roughly the size of like a duffel bag that you would take to the gym, maybe a little bit bigger than that, out of the back of my pickup truck. And now I have an ambulance and a studio and fast forward 5 years. And, but we got access to an old city jail in our hometown and a couple of inexpensive night vision cameras. And then my nephew had the idea of us going live on Facebook, and it didn't even occur to me to go live. And we did, and then we started getting a following. And just one thing led to another, and here I am.
That is amazing. Wow, that is really cool.
Can you tell us like another moment that sticks out the most with you that has happened on your investigations?
Oh, absolutely. I love this story, actually. It's the only one that comes close to the story about my dad. Now, in Villisca, Iowa,
Yes.
unfortunately,
Sorry.
unfortunately, have you guys heard of the Villisca Axe Murder House?
Yes.
Yeah, I did a research project on that. That was really interesting.
I'm sorry, you cut out on me.
I said I did a research project on that investigation.
Okay, so you know about Josiah and Sarah and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we went to the house. A lot of paranormal investigators go there, and we had 3 nights there, which is amazing, by the way. We went there with the idea that obviously we're going to respect their space and their house, but we're going to go and we're not going to talk about the murders. That's 8 people that were unfortunately killed in the summer of 1912, in June of 1912. And I didn't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk to the murderer. All I want to do is I want to know about their lives. I wanted to know what they did before that night, who they hung out with, what they did out in town, where they went to church, where they shopped, who their friends were, what they did around town, that sort of thing. And then I turned to Sarah. Obviously, I can't see her, but I turned to Sarah and I said, sweetheart, if you had guests coming over and you were prepping them a meal, what would you prepare for us if you knew we were coming and we were invited? Fill the house with that smell, with that scent. And on the 3rd night, now when you go to the Villisca Axe Murder House, and obviously in Villisca, Iowa, you walk in through the back, in between the barn and the back, and then you walk in through the back through the kitchen. I walked in initially, it was around 5 or 5:30 in the evening. I walked in initially in front of one of the other investigators who's going to kill me for saying this, but she's as southern as she can get. Southeast Missouri is very southern. And she walked in right behind me, and I stopped, and I go, "What is that smell? Oh my goodness, there's food in here." And then Christy goes, "That's fried taters. Scott, that's fried. She cooked us fried taters." And I'm like, "It is. Absolutely. That's exactly what that is." And I thought that was pretty neat because I felt like we had we had gotten through to Sarah, the spirit of Sarah, and that was a gesture of welcoming us to her home. And there's no way to prove that. I can't. We don't have smell-o-vision. I can't. Rewind the footage and show people what that smelled like. But I assure you, it is one of those personal experiences as a paranormal investigator that you kind of just log and check off in your brain, and you're like, okay, well, that happened, and kind of go from there.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I wish I could, experience something like that rather than just seeing something out of the corner of my eye. One of the next questions we have is, have you ever been touched by a ghost?
Actually, yes, in the Sally house. And
oh my god,
bro, you're going to all the cool places.
Yeah, I've actually been there twice. Here's what's interesting. One of you guys look up the address to the Sally house, and then one of you other girls look up the address to Villisca.
Okay.
Separately. Do that. I don't know if you can do that while you're on your phones or whatever, but
I got mine
then
up. What's yours, Megan?
One moment. Okay, Villisca is 508 East 2nd Street.
Okay, guess what mine is? 508 North 2nd Street.
Ugh.
That is crazy.
No one talks about it.
What?
Like nobody. So yeah,
The two
Sally house.
addresses
I
being
sat
the same.
in to get back to the answer to the question. I was sitting in a rocking chair in the guest bedroom of the Sally house, and I don't know if it's on one of the videos, unreleased. I got unreleased footage put on YouTube, and something grabbed my arm, grabbed my elbow, and clearly didn't want me sitting in that chair. So
Have you
I got
had
got
marks
grabbed.
left on you?
No, I
Okay.
didn't leave a mark.
Okay.
Oh well, at the Saxon City Jail, I got I started feeling a burn on my chest, like right about here, and I'm like, what is that?
Right about
and then
here.
Yeah, right about here. And I had one of the guys walk over because we were doing an event there. This is several years ago, and we were doing an event there, and it looked like somebody had put a cigarette out on my chest,
Oh my god.
which is common in a jail.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, we've been
Yes.
to Missouri State Pen.
Us
We've
too.
been to Brushy Mountain State Pen twice in Peachtrust, Tennessee.
The Missouri State how do you say it?
Penitentiary.
Penitentiary. That is where I had my first ghost experience, and I actually felt like someone run their hands up my legs, and that's what got me believing. So
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
place,
know that happened
that'll-
to you.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy.
Do you know where?
It was on death row, when you were there. Were you?
So Housing Unit
Who
3.
did you go with?
It was the
It was-
CJ group.
Yeah, it was with CJ.
I think I did.
It was on death row, and the host had us had one person go into the cell, and it was pitch black, and then she started telling the backstory. So it was me and Taylor was having ghostly experiences the whole time. She was seeing things, and she was visibly distraught over it. And so I went in with her, so she didn't have to be alone. And as soon as we went in there, she was freaking out about it. She's like, "There's someone here. I feel them." And I'm like, "No, not happening." And then the lady started talking about the inmates on death row and whatnot. And I can't remember who she was talking about, but it was a specific guy. And as soon as she started talking about him, I just felt chills and goosebumps. And then I felt it felt like pressure. Not someone grabbing me, not if I were to grab Allie, but it just felt like pressure on my skin starting at my ankles, and then it went up to my knees. And when it kept going up, I freaked out, so I just ran out of the cell, and I was just sobbing because it was just so real. And I'm before that, never thought that was real. That is just something to talk about.
Well, you know how so have you? Has the other girl been? Have you been to Missouri State Pen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody here's been. So when you go into housing unit 3 and you go down to death row, right, and you go all the way around the corner, and there's only one way in and one way out.
Mm-hmm.
I went down there. I challenged myself because as the lead of the team, I have to face my own fears.
Yeah.
When they let us come there about a month before our investigation, which was really cool of them to do that, they let us come there and scout the location. When I went down into death row and around the corner to the other side of the cells, I got a sharp stabbing pain in my lower back. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I got attacked,
Oh.
and I was in a lot of pain. And I was very apprehensive to go back because I didn't want to feel that again.
Yeah.
But I told myself on TikTok Live, I told the audience that was watching, the viewers that were watching, audience, I'm so old, the viewers that were watching, that I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to go down there. And I walked all the way down there, scared, but you do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And stood in the set a chair down at the end of the hallway and sat in the dark and told them, if you're going to come now.
Oh.
And they didn't. And I feel like I really do. I know this is going to sound strange, but the respect level that we brought to Missouri State, which was the idea that we're not here to antagonize. I'm not here to judge you either. That's how I teach my team. We're not here to judge you. You've already been judged. You've already been sentenced. You did your time, and now you're dead. And if you're still here, that's pretty freaking awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care what you did before. Some other people might, but I don't. And if you liked visitors while you were here, well, then you got a visitor. And I want to talk about your life before you made the bad choices that got you in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did you like to do before? Where did you like to eat? What was your favorite food? Did you like ice cream? Did you have somebody had a really nice car at Brushy State because they kept saying my ride. Like, you got to check my ride. It kept coming through the spirit box, and I'm like, man, I wish I'd known what it was, and then we could talk. We can have a conversation about maybe you had this awesome sports car, and now unfortunately you can't drive it anymore. You're in prison, and I feel like by going and challenging myself and putting myself in that vulnerable position, I feel like the inmates respected that because they see he's afraid, but he's doing it anyway, and he's going to put himself into a situation where we could go after him, but I don't want to now. Like, he's not bait. He's ready for us. And I was. And there was movement down there. I could hear stuff. I'm walking around. I've got Chloe went over a lot of the Brushy State Brushy Mountain State Pen footage the second time we went. She went over a lot of that footage. She was able to sync a lot of that footage, and it was amazing. And some of that, I'm walking around that prison all by myself with just a camera. Well, I had 3 cameras because I'm ridiculous. But I had one on my helmet, and I had an infrared camera, and I had the TikTok Live. So I'm just walking around, and I walk into the B block all by myself, and a cell door slams.
Oh,
and I jumped.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, huh, man, I'm kind of jumpy. And I just keep on walking. Like, I didn't even address it. Like, we're not even going to talk about that. It doesn't matter. It happened. You're trying to scare me, and I'm not going to let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's been a wild experience, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite piece of equipment or one that's the most reliable that you've seen over the years?
Well, see, if this were Chloe answering that question, she would say what?
I would say the microphone. I would say any audio. Yeah, any audio.
Yeah, we get a ton of audio evidence, that's for sure. But I mean, you love using the obelisk from Bill Chappell.
Yeah, that's I
like
love it.
Yeah, that's a really cool device. I think my favorite piece of equipment to utilize is our structured light sensor camera. It's a modified Xbox One camera Kinect system, and it's modified to use with a Microsoft Surface Pro tablet. And I've got it to where the tablet sits in front of me, and then I've got like a camping battery on my back on an Alice frame backpack like from the Army. So it's like just the frame for the backpack, not the actual backpack itself. But I've got it zip tied onto the frame. And then all the stuff that makes the Xbox camera work is all zip tied to the bottom of that. And you can just pull out your camera and walk around and map figures. And that's a pretty awesome piece of equipment. I think that'd be my answer.
So does it just like record, or is it like is there like a heat? Do you guys have like a heat detector thing, or is that a whole different thing?
Yeah, we've got. No, I've got a thermal camera sitting right over there on our table. But yeah, we've got a thermal camera or FLIR.
Does it work most of the time?
Oh well, when it wants to, it's temperamental. Yeah, it's. I mean, I bet you Chloe doesn't even know that we have one because we barely even use it, and it's an expensive piece of gear that works about a quarter of the time, maybe. And when it does work, it works really well. And we've caught some stuff with it, but I haven't been able to get the data off of the device yet. So it's not really a useful piece of tech for us right now.
Yeah, I was going to say I've definitely never reviewed anything with the thermal, and that would explain why.
And all it does is take stills. It has a little trigger on it, and you see something, and you snap it doesn't take video. You'd have to strap a GoPro to it when it's working.
Yeah.
What is your favorite piece of evidence that you've collected over the years?
Favorite piece of evidence? We were at the base of... We were at the, you guys know what a speakeasy was?
Mm-hmm.
Familiar with the term? Okay. We were at the basement of a hotel that had a speakeasy in it during, of course, Prohibition. They had jazz musicians down there, and of course, they were bootlegging alcohol in and out of there. Believe it or not, this hotel that is in downtown Charleston, Missouri, the St. Louis Cardinals, they had... During Prohibition, this is kind of a unique story. During Prohibition, they would send their alcoholic player down, and he would have to stay there in the off season in this hotel, which is kind of a unique story. But while we were down in the basement, nobody had told us any stories about this hotel, and I can't even remember the name of the hotel right offhand. But it's a hotel that's in Charleston. And okay, so randomly, this is the thing. These are the kind of things that happen to us. By the way, when we're trying to investigate, I meet the owner there, and then all of a sudden, police show up, and they're everywhere. Across the street from the bank, from the hotel, is a bank. There's a truck, like a police truck, with its door open, and I hear through the radio. I don't even know if Chloe knows the story. That Darth Vader has robbed the bank.
What?
like a dude in a Darth Vader outfit is robbed the bank and has run away and is hiding. And I'm like, that's it, guys. You've heard it here first. Darth Vader has officially robbed a bank. I didn't even know what. That's just some of the random crap that's happened to us. But I digress. So we were just having a random conversation like we are now in the basement of this hotel. And there was this really old, retro-looking couch that's still down there, and we're all chilling on it, live on Facebook. And we hear, like someone humming, and we stop. What was that? And my mom goes, I think that was a little girl humming. And then I pull out my digital audio recorder, which is like, listen, I'm not even investigating today. This is always on me. Maybe this is my favorite piece of investigative gear, because if I have this and this, I can investigate. I mean, if somebody might ask, hey, starting out, what do you need? A dedicated digital audio recorder like this Sony, which is not that expensive, and your phone. And that's it. And your courage to go into dark places by yourself or, with your friends and family. But pulled out a digital audio recorder, and I'll be damned if she didn't hum again. And we got it on both Facebook Live and on the digital audio recorder. And I sent it to a para celebrity that I know that's been on TV, Brian Cano. He's my my mentor was Brian Cano. He was on the show Haunted Collector. He mentored underneath John Zaffis. John Zaffis, who is the star of the show Haunted Collector, is the nephew of Ed and Lorraine Warren of Conjuring fame.
What?
So I basically mentored under someone that mentored under Ed and Lorraine Warren, which is pretty badass.
That is
Yeah.
And
really
I
cool.
sent it to him. Yeah, and I sent it to him, and he's like, "Well, how do I know that there wasn't a little girl down there?" Like, well, you just have to trust me, dude. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. And he was like, "Well, I'm apprehensive because you guys just started out and you're looking for evidence." And I'm like, "Okay, that's all I needed to know. You know that it's genuine paranormal evidence. You hear a little girl humming, and that's all I needed to hear." So
That is really cool, especially that, like, the Ed and Lorraine stuff. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. That's, like, really cool.
yeah, and hearing stories from, I've got John Zaffis' number, by the way, and I've talked to him on the phone a few times. And when you get in this business, there aren't really anybody. There's nobody in the business except for like maybe Zach Baggins and some of those guys that are so high up that you can't even get a hold of them. But a lot of the guys that are in this business don't consider themselves celebrities because we're just trying to find the answers
Mm-hmm.
that everybody is trying to find the same answer. And they're trying to get proof of life after death.
Mm-hmm.
And that pursuit is what keeps us going, and constantly getting evidence and breaking and piercing through the veil is what will constantly, I guess you could consider it a drug. It's a good drug. It's a good high, because when stuff does happen, like during our events, we have an event called the Sip and Spook where people will meet at a restaurant, have a sip of wine or a glass of wine or beer, or in this case, we had it at Speck Pizza, so we called it Speck and Spook this year. And people had pizza and then hung out with us for dinner, and then came to our studio, which is in an old retired funeral home, and it's in the middle of a renovation, so they're all stirred up. And stuff happened. I mean, we had a lady get pushed. She got her neck and the back of her hair pulled on camera.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
it's just it can be a very active location. And then I tell them before they even come, it's not a zoo. I can't tell them to come out. They're either going to come out and respond to you or they won't. And I'll tell you, Ruby Sue's on the second floor. She's a 5 or 6 year old little girl. She's either going to come out and play or she won't. The Countess or the woman of the house is on the first floor. She's either going to like you or she won't, and she'll make that very clear very quick. Edward's in the basement. He may have been a mortician's assistant, but he's apprehensive and doesn't like flashlights. And I'm serious. Whenever we go down there, and if we bring very little equipment, like just say a digital audio recorder and maybe the Spirit Talker app for your phone, which we endorse, we put it on airplane mode and then run the Spirit Talker app, and he'll mess with that. He won't mess with any other pieces of equipment. He doesn't like them. And we turn our flashlights off, and he will literally walk right up to you. You can hear his footsteps.
Whoa.
Which is wild because anybody else would be just running out of there, and you just all you see just a group of people running out. But for us, I work in this building 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes 10, 12 hours a day, and stuff happens. I'm not afraid of them. They're not here to scare me. I know they aren't.
Wow. I have no words. That is really cool.
I want to experience it. Do you have a YouTube channel? Can you shout it out? Or Facebook?
Yeah, it's I think you can just hashtag AmGhostPro or AmGhostPro. The hashtag AmGhostPro will take you pretty much to all of our socials, but it's American Ghost Project is our YouTube channel.
I'll put it in
and
the
we
bio.
There you go. And we did just get our silver play button. 2 or 3 months ago.
That's
Thank you.
cool.
That's exciting.
Wow. Is there anything else you would want to add for people listening? Like anything about your job, like what you do or your stories?
Oh man, there are so many things. Like, if you get into this line of work, expect the unexpected. I keep telling people that the further down the rabbit hole that I go, down into Wonderland, the more questions that I have than answers. I mean, people come to us because, okay, there are professionals in this field. I am considered a professional because I get paid to do what I do, but there are no experts. There's no degree in parapsychology. There's no degree in ghost hunting. There is no certification. You just grab a camera and you go, and you lean on people that have been there before you and their experience, and hopefully pass on what you know. That's what I'm trying to do with the American Ghost Project YouTube channel. Archive our footage, have a place where my daughter and my son can go and go, look, there's your grandfather acting like a complete idiot, running around in an abandoned 100-year-old prison. But at least they'll have that legacy left behind when I'm gone, because I won't be around forever. But this is a passion project of ours. And Chloe knows this, but the American Ghost Project is named after my father. His name was Anthony Gerald Poole.
Okay.
So that's where I came up with the name American Ghost Project. So I do everything in honor of him.
How do you remain safe while doing investigations?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, never investigate by yourself.
Yeah.
Especially as a female. I mean, just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Never investigate your home. That's a big no-no, because you can open a portal at your house and not know how to close it. And it's just, I have never investigated my own home, and I've been doing this for almost 6 years. And my house is haunted. And I just leave her alone.
Oh.
Oh, she knows.
Oh.
Yeah. But she's kind of a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't worry about attachments because they don't stay long. And I'll tell them, hey, you can ride my back on the way home. That's fine. But you're not going to stay long. She'll kick you out, and then you're going to be homeless. What are you going to do then?
Yep.
I mean, we went to, I'll tell you another quick story. We went to not abandoned, but an old hotel in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and that we've been trying to get into, the Rogers Theater, Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got into that last year, and I felt an attachment. That one hit us harder than we really imagined. It hit Lexi, one of my team members, really hard. But I could feel something was wrong. I'm riding in the back seat of one of my buddies driving, and I'm so messed up. I'm like, something's got a hold of me. And I told him out loud, you can come home with me if you want, but you're not going to stay long. And by the time we got to the highway, it was off. It was gone. Just released its grip. It's not a threat. She won't tolerate it. She's very protective. By the way, Chloe, I heard Colin the other day.
Yeah, that house.
Just
that
mimics.
house has.
Mimics.
Yeah, mimics. It mimics people.
Oh.
That's so scary.
Like your
Yeah.
house? Oh.
Yeah, what's crazy? Yeah, no, yeah. The house that they stay at, my house in Southeast Missouri. Like, I'm laying in bed and it's like 6:00 in the morning on a Sunday, and I hear my wife at the end of the bottom of the stairs playing with the dogs. The only problem is she's in bed with me.
Ugh. I hate that. I hate that so much.
Like,
Oh.
babe, I hear you. She goes, yeah, I've been listening to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That is so freaky.
yeah.
Oh
But we
my
just
God.
get used to it because it's just a house releasing energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been. There's been a time where I was trying to fall asleep in that house, and I heard breathing, like human breathing, other than my own, and I just told it, "Hey, I'm trying to get some sleep, so I would appreciate if you stop doing that and let me go to sleep." And it went away, and I went to sleep. So, guess it worked. So
That's good that they're respectful
Yeah.
too.
It really is, and that's the thing about the spirits in my house is that, and the spirits that are in this building is they do respect. When you have that mutual respect back and forth, you really can just ask. My mom has done that. She used to live with us for several years, and she could hear them running around in the living room, just running around. Guys, you're gonna have to keep it down. I'm trying to get to sleep, and then they stop. And that's probably. Oh, you want to know what is even more amazing than that? There is something more amazing than that. Getting a ghost to laugh. Because we have done stuff, because we're all about paranormal with personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have done stuff. Chloe has seen me trip over and fall. I mean, I'm a klutz. Almost fell off of a balcony in a theater in Southeast Missouri. I mean, I've done stuff. You're just like, oh my God. I've fallen in a basement. There's a video of me making fun of one of my buddies because he's using a flashlight and I'm not, and then I end up falling, which is just ironic. But hearing them giggle or laugh at us through the spirit box, that's more rewarding to me than just, there's no amount of money that anybody could pay me to have that experience. Mm-hmm. I made someone that's no longer with us laugh at us for us just being silly and loving what we do. So it can be very rewarding.
I love that.
We have a new guest, Areli.
Hi.
Hi.
I love paranormal stuff, so I would also feel like that is rewarding. I would love to hear.
He's an investigator. Yep.
Paranormal
investigator.
I've always wanted to go and I've watched a lot of podcast shows as well that talk about their investigations, and I'm like, yeah, I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where would you recommend anybody to go for their first investigation if they wanted to?
That's a good one. Well, see, you guys are over in Joplin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is a Chloe. Are you aware of the funeral home in Ozark?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a funeral home in Ozark that does ghost tours. Of course, you've got the Pythian. Mm-hmm. That's an easy one.
I'm looking at
in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, I think this is controversial, but I don't really like the Pythian. Don't really like how they do things.
No, I don't. I do not like how it's ran. I'm with you on that. The lady that runs it is a little.
She's rude.
They live. Yeah, she's rude and she's eccentric and gosh, it's really hard to explain. The energy is just off. Mm-hmm. It really is.
So it doesn't make it fun to investigate either.
Man, if you want to feel something, I tell you what, we are going to be having, we are going to be going either back to the Sally house or the Velisca Axe Murder house.
Stop.
You missed the
Sally
house.
Wait, okay, I watch a lot of Sam and Colby, and they go to so many. I love it. Oh my God, Sally house.
Tell her, show her the address deal that nobody talks about.
Okay.
Nobody talks about it.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what we're talking about.
This is the address for the Sally house. Okay, keep that in your mind.
Okay, wait, I'm recording. No, I'm taking a picture of it because I really want to do something like this. I might, it might be bad.
Okay, and then look at this one. Do you remember the number?
Wait.
Look at them.
Yeah. Nobody talks about that.
That is insane.
We went to these two houses 1 week separating the two of them, by the way.
So trippy.
And we didn't realize it until we got to Velisca, and we were like, well, wait a second.
I'm like,
why is the GPS saying the same address?
Ah.
That doesn't make any sense. I thought I typed it in wrong, but it's not.
I don't even know.
Yeah, kind of blows your mind a little bit, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what we're at. Where are we going?
Yeah.
What's the address for the country? It's the same one. Just kidding. Can you imagine? I'm just kidding.
Where would you, where's your dream place to investigate?
Oh, that's an easy question. See, nobody thinks about this one. Nobody ever talks about going to the White House.
Ooh.
Oh. There's a lot going on there.
Good.
You know it, right?
I know it. So good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know it.
All that history, dude.
Wow,
all that history. I mean, Kennedy talks about how he had a whole conversation with Lincoln.
Oh.
have not
Gerald
heard that.
Ford said that he saw somebody in period clothing. Like we're talking,
Like nothing.
early, late 1700s,
Yeah.
early or 1800s period clothing. There's been lots of stories, and nobody talks about it, and I'll probably never get in, but not with that attitude.
Exactly.
I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too. Oh, I want to go investigate so bad. I have my
too.
ghost box and I have courage.
Let's just
so.
go to the prison.
Oh yeah,
let's
we can
go
go
to
back to the
prison.
prison.
I want
Yeah.
the Estes method.
Yes.
Thingy so bad.
Yeah. Have
Wait,
you?
yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
see, the prison's not hard to get into. The prison really isn't hard to get into, and it's not that expensive.
Mhm. Have you done the Estes method?
Yeah, that's one of our favorite ways of
Okay.
investigating. Is
Oh
I
my
love it.
gosh.
Oh my god,
That's
I want
what
it.
I wanna
want
try.
one.
Yeah.
I just want one, like to have one. I don't know. It's so cool.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Got here late, but I love the
Yeah.
stories.